day, boys and girls, and welcome back. Today we will be talking about paragraphing. So when you listen to this lesson, you will know all that you need to know about writing paragraphs and what a paragraph is. So let's look at this picture here. We have a picture of a hamburger, and the hamburger, it looks delicious. Yes, it does. So when you are writing a paragraph, think of the hamburger. Now let's break up the hamburger and see what it is made up of. So we have a top bun. We have the lettuce, we have tomatoes, we have cheese, we have the hamburger patty, and we have the bottom bun. So if we were to remove everything from the middle of the hamburger and we only had the top bun and the bottom bun, will that be enjoyable when you are eating? No, you will not enjoy it because it's just bread you are eating. If you were to remove the top bun and the bottom bun, will that be enjoyable? Some of you might enjoy it, but that is not what a hamburger is about. For the hamburger to be delicious, we have to have the top bun, we have to have all the ingredients inside, and we have to have the bottom bun. So when we are writing a paragraph, we need to think about the hamburger. What the paragraph is that it is sentences that we make to form one paragraph. So we need sentences to form this paragraph. So let's break up the hamburger and let's see how this hamburger can help us when we are writing a paragraph. So let's look at the top bun. When we are writing a paragraph, we start from the top. So let's take the top bun, and the top bun represents the main idea of the paragraph. Now you may ask yourself, what is the main idea? The main idea simply is what this paragraph is going to be about. What exactly you are writing about. So when you are writing this main idea, you are telling the reader, my paragraph is going to be about this in particular. Now, before you write, we have to indent. And indent means just you leave a space from the margin, then you begin to write. Normally, it is 2 finger spaces. So, top bun is the main idea. And what is the main idea again? Yes, the main idea is telling the reader what this paragraph is going to be about. And also, before you write the paragraph, what do you have to do? Yes, you have to indent, normally using 2 finger spaces. So we have talked about the top bun. Let's move on. The hamburger paragraph. Right, so the middle of the hamburger, we will call that the supporting details. That is the juicy details about the paragraph. So we should have at least 3 supporting details. It is also important to know that you are not limited to 3 details only. So today we'll be just talking about 3 of the details. So we might talk about the lettuce, the tomato, and the hamburger patty. But you know, with hamburgers, sometimes it had the onions, sometimes it had the cheese. So we could talk about more things. Just remember that our supporting details is not limited to 3 alone. You can have more than 3. So let's go into the supporting details or supporting sentences. So we'll talk about the tomatoes. We reach the tomatoes now. Some of you like tomatoes, some of you don't like tomatoes. So if you don't like the tomatoes, switch the tomatoes for cheese. But just remember that our paragraph should have supporting details. So detail number 1. This sentence gives specific details about the main idea. So this sentence, it is telling us more about the main idea. It is explaining the main idea some more. It also explains and develops the main idea. And I just said that. We develop the main idea. We give the main idea some juice, some details. This is the, and I put body in inverted commas because this is what the body of the paragraph is. It is these sentences, and it contains all the information for the reader. So this paragraph is the first sentence that tells us or gives us information about the main idea. Let's go to the lettuce now. So detail number 2, this is another sentence. This is the next juicy detail, and it will still be about the main idea of the paragraph. Now, this is where we start to use transitional words. And what transitional words are is that we link the sentences. These are words such as next. So when you are writing, you could start to use your transitional words so you know where exactly in the paragraph this sentence will go. So let's go over detail number 2 or sentence number 2. This is still about the main idea of the paragraph. And we can use our linking words or transitional words such as next. We can use after, we can use then. These words transition or links the sentences together. Detail number 3, the hamburger patty. So you guessed it. This sentence is also about the main idea. So we are explaining some more about the main idea, and we have to remember to use our transitional words. So now we are talking about 3 sentences for this paragraph. So this sentence is more or less closing up or ending what our main idea is about. So we can use our transitional words such as finally or lastly. So we can't forget to use our transitional words that start off your sentence and lets the reader know where exactly in the paragraph you are at. And after the burger patty, where I think we are going to now? Yes, we are going to the bottom bun. And the bottom bun is the concluding sentence. This concluding sentence, it summarizes what your paragraph is about. It tells the reader a little bit of information what the paragraph is about. And at times, it normally restates the topic sentence. It is also called the closing sentence. So before we move on, let's recap what we did about the hamburger paragraph. I call it the hamburger paragraph because we have the top bun, which is the main idea. This sentence tells the reader what exactly this paragraph is going to be about. Then we move on to detail number 1. This links, it helps the reader to know more about the main idea. Then we move on to detail number 2. This also links this paragraph with the main idea, but now we can start to use our transitional words. And what is another word for transitional words? Yes, it is linking words. And what are some words we can use here? Yes, we can use next, we can use after, and we can use then. Then we move on to detail number 3, which also tells us a little more about the main idea. But this one is the final supporting sentence for your paragraph. So we will start with transitional words such as what? Yes, we will start with finally and lastly. And then we move on to our closing sentence, which wraps up our paragraph. So our paragraph should have at least 5 sentences. So let's move on. Let's look at an example. So we are to write on interesting facts about owls. So say you probably read something about owls and your teacher asked you to write about interesting facts about owls. How will we do this? Well, we can use something called a graphic organizer, and you will see it shortly. It has the hamburger buns, it has the supporting details and everything where you can write in. And once you remember what you learned about the different parts of the hamburger, when it comes to writing, you can do it. So this is what the graphic organizer looks like. So we have the hamburger writing template. You can see clearly the top bun, which is the topic sentence. You can see the tomatoes, which is detail 1. You can see the lettuce, which is detail 2. We have the hamburger patty, which is detail 3. And then the bottom bun, which is the concluding statement or sentence. So when you use this, you order your paragraph and you get a perfect paragraph. So let's start with topic sentence 1. Now, what are we to write about? Interesting facts about owls. Yes. So what the topic sentence does, it tells the reader what the main idea of the story is. So what can be a main idea of the story? Yes, you guessed it. I have learned many facts about owls. So this is telling the reader that this story is going to be about facts on owls. Now, detail number 1, it has to tell us something about owls. So what can that be? Let's try and see. So we start this sentence, it starts with a transitional word one time, and it was first. So first, most owls are nocturnal, which means they hunt at night. So what does nocturnal mean? Yes, it hunts at night. And what is the transitional word or the linking word in this sentence? Yes, it is first. So detail number 1, it is telling us about owls. The first thing it is telling us is that most owls are nocturnal, which means they hunt at night. Let's go on to detail number 2, something probably we don't know about owls that we are going to learn today. Next, owls cannot move their eyes in the socket, so they must turn their entire head. What is the transitional word in this sentence? Yes, it is next. So this is something that we are learning about owls. This is a sentence that it is linking to the main idea about facts about owls, and this is a fact. Owls cannot move their eyes in their socket, so they must turn their entire head. Let's go on to detail number 3. Finally, the smallest of the owl is the elf owl, which is 6 inches long and has a wingspan of 15 inches. So this is another fact about owls. But you notice we have the transitional word of finally. So we have to use our transitional words that links our sentences together. And who can remember what the last part is? Yes, that is the bottom bun, which is the concluding sentence, which tells us about what the paragraph is about. So a workable concluding statement is owls are very interesting, because these are some interesting facts about owls. So we did it in our graphic organizer. Now we have to look at it as how it is written in a paragraph. And who can remember when we are writing a paragraph, what is the first thing we have to do? Yes, we have to indent. So let's look what it looks like in a paragraph. So you have seen that I have indented. I moved away from the margin and I started using everything I did in my graphic organizer. So I have learned many facts about owls. First, most owls are nocturnal, which means they hunt at night. Next, owls cannot move their eyes in the socket, so they must turn their entire head. Finally, the smallest owl is the elf owl, which is 6 inches long and has a wingspan of 15 inches. Owls are very interesting birds. So we looked at it as a graphic organizer and we looked at it as a paragraph. Let's try and look at another one. Write a paragraph about your favorite season. So what are the seasons we have in Trinidad? Yes, we have rainy season and we have the dry season. So if you have to do this, and I cannot see you all writing anything about winter and summer because we do not experience that in Trinidad. So if you're writing this, we have to write about either rainy season or the dry season. So we have our templates. We have the top bun, the tomatoes, the lettuce, the hamburger patty, and the bottom bun. So let's fill it in to see what this will look like. The rainy season is my favorite season. This is the main idea. This is telling the reader what this paragraph is going to be about. So we know that this paragraph is going to be about the rainy season. So just remember, we have to use our linking words, our transitional words. So let's try sentence 1. First, the clouds are dark and gray in color, and it rains most of the time. So this is one fact about why the rainy season is your favorite. What is the transitional word here? Yes, it is first. Detail number 2. Next, there are puddles everywhere that I love to jump in. So this is also telling us why the rainy season is your favorite. And we have to remember our transitional word next. Our next sentence. Finally, people use raincoats and colorful umbrellas. So this is your final sentence, which is telling us why the rainy season is your favorite. And now we have to wrap up our sentences and give a concluding sentence. I like to play in the rain. That's why the rainy season is my favorite. So this sentence is telling us everything that we just explained. So we have to look at this now in a paragraph. And when we start in a paragraph, what we have to do? Yes, we have to indent. So let's try. The rainy season is my favorite season. First, the clouds are dark and gray, and it rains most of the time. Next, there are puddles everywhere that I love to jump in. Finally, people use raincoats and colorful umbrellas. I like to play in the rain. That's why the rainy season is my favorite. So let's look at one more example. Write a paragraph about your friend. So it's not my friend you're writing about, it is your friend. So you probably have many friends and you're going to write about your friend. So yes, we have our writing template and we will fill in the information. So the topic sentence had to be about your friend. So let's see. Celeste is a really great friend. So this main idea, we know that you are going to talk about Celeste and why she is a great friend. So let's try detail number 1. Celeste is a really good friend because she helps me with my homework. So we know one reason why she's a great friend to you, and that reason is, yes, she helps you with your homework. Let's move on to detail 2. Another reason she's a really good friend is because she makes me happy when I am sad. So we have another fact about why Celeste is your really good friend. And why is that? Yes, because she helps you when you are sad. She makes you happy. Number 3, lastly, Celeste shares her lunch with me when I forget mine. So this is a final reason why she is your great friend. And what is the transitional word here? It is lastly. So let's conclude our paragraph now. I am really glad that Celeste is my friend, and I would not be the person I am today without her. So this last sentence is telling us all the reasons why she is your great friend. So let's look at it in our paragraph. You will notice I started away from the margin, I indented. So you will have to remember, when you are starting your paragraph, you have to indent. Celeste is a really good friend. Celeste is a really good friend because she helps me with my homework. Another reason she is a really good friend is because she makes me happy when I am sad. Lastly, Celeste shares her lunch with me when I forget mine. I am really glad that Celeste is my friend, and I would not be the person I am today without her. So before we move on, I just want to stress that in these examples, I only gave 3 supporting details, but you can give more. If you have more reasons why Celeste is your really good friend, you can put it in. Do not limit yourself to only 3 supporting details. You can do more if you have the information to write. So this is what basically the hamburger paragraph is about. So the hamburger model is a paragraph writing organized, and you see how we organized our sentence that visually separates the topic sentence, body, and the closing sentence, and you saw that. The top bun is the topic sentence, the main idea. Then we had the supporting details to the middle, and then the bottom bun was the concluding sentence or the closing sentence. So the introduction, the topic sentence, the main idea is 1 to 2 sentences. So your main idea can be 1 to 2 sentences. It begins with a strong hook, and it tells your main idea. Your main idea has to captivate the reader. It has to let the reader know exactly what this paragraph is going to be about. Your supporting details, it include text evidence and examples that support your main idea. So for example, the one with the owl, it had text evidence. You can go and research that an owl is nocturnal. That is text evidence. You can research that the eyes cannot move in the socket. You can research the wingspan of the owl. These are text evidence. These are things you can research. And we use our transitions between details to make your writing flow. And we went over the transitional words. What are some? Yes, it's firstly, you have next, you have then, you have lastly, you have finally. And there are more transitional words you can use. You can research transitional words, and you will get lots of transitional words to use to make your sentences flow, to make your ideas flow. And lastly, we sum up our main idea with this sentence. This can help transition to the next paragraph. So let's write a paragraph of your favorite holiday. Now, what I did for this exercise is that you are given 3 choices. So you have to choose from the 3 which one can be your main idea. Then we move on. I give you 3 examples of what can be your supporting detail number 1. Then we move on. But just remember, to look for our linking words or transitional words to tell us which one we will choose. So let's try this one. Topic sentence. Christmas is a time to give and receive presents. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. My mother cooks various delicious meals during the Christmas period. So we see that B is the topic sentence. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. This sentence is telling us what the main idea is. This sentence is telling us what we are going to write about. We are going to write about Christmas being your favorite holiday of all. Let's move to example 2. Supporting sentence number 1. So we have Christmas is a time to give and receive presents. We have Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. And we have there are a lot of things to do during Christmas which makes it fun. So we know B, that is our main idea, so we cannot put that in. There are lots of things to do during Christmas time which makes it fun. Yeah, that can work, but Christmas is a time to give and receive presents. It goes along, it flows in nicely with our main idea. Let's try this one. Christmas is very fun. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. And also, during Christmas time, my mother allows me to play all day. So we use our transitional word also here. So that is why I will choose this one to go as supporting sentence number 2. And let's try this one. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. That was your main idea. Most importantly, I love Christmas because we are celebrating the birth of Jesus, and Christmas is very fun. So I will use most importantly because it's a nice transitional word to wrap up my paragraph. And then the concluding sentence is Christmas is a time to give and receive presents. That was in your supporting detail number 1. Most importantly, I love Christmas because we are celebrating the birth of Jesus. That was our supporting detail number 3, and there are a lot of things to do during Christmas which makes it fun. This is our concluding sentence because it links everything that we were saying with our main idea. So let's look at it as a paragraph. Your favorite holiday. Christmas is my favorite holiday of all. Christmas is a time to give and receive presents. Also, during Christmas time, my mother allows me to play all day. Most importantly, I love Christmas because we are celebrating the birth of Jesus. There are a lot of things to do during Christmas which makes it fun. So you saw how we could choose our main idea, our supporting sentence 1, our supporting sentence 2, our supporting sentence 3, and our concluding sentence. We have to know what comes next. We have to use our transitional words to know which one comes before which. So firstly, if you hear the word firstly, that means that is your first supporting sentence. If you hear the words such as lastly or finally, that will be your last supporting sentence. So the transitional words, it tells us where exactly in the paragraph our sentences should go. So we are going to unscramble the paragraph. So just remember, I explained our transitional words to know exactly where the sentences should go. So let's unscramble this paragraph. So I have a paragraph, and this paragraph is written all over the place. And we have to put this paragraph in order. And we are writing on, which person do you love most? So we'll read it twice. I will give you time to think and to try to put it in order. So lastly, she gives us medication when we feel sick. She is the best mom ever. She helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. I love my mommy for all the things she does for us. Firstly, I love the way she cooks, the way she cleans the house and bakes her cake. So let's read it again. While you read it now, I want you to try to see if you can put it in order in your mind using what I told you about our transitional words, about what I told you about your main idea. Just remember, your main idea is what this paragraph is about. So let's go. Lastly, she gives us medication when we feel sick. She is the best mom ever. She helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. I love my mommy for all the things she does for us. Firstly, I love the way she cooks, the way she cleans the house and bakes her cake. So let's try to unscramble this paragraph. What is the main idea or the first sentence you are going to use in this instance? What is this paragraph telling us about? This paragraph is supposed to tell us about the person you love most. So what is the first sentence you will choose? Which one? She helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. That is telling us what this paragraph is about? No, it is not. Which one will you choose? I love my mommy for all the things she does for us. Yes, I will choose that as my first sentence, because that is telling us who you love. Who do you love? Your mommy, and why? For all the things that she does for you. So that will be your first sentence, your main idea. So we have our main idea now. Just remember your linking words, your transitional words, to see which sentence comes first and moving on. So lastly, she gives us medication when we feel sick. You will put that first. Where will you put that? What word tells you where to put that? The word lastly. So where that will go? That will be your third. She helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. Yeah, that could come first. It could. But which sentence will tell you what comes first? Firstly, I love the way she cooks, the way she cleans the house and bakes her cake. Because of the word firstly, that tells us that is the first example you are given about your mother. So we have the first example. Firstly, I love the way she cooks, the way she cleans the house and bakes her cakes. And we have our last sentence. Lastly, she gives us medication when we feel sick. So now we have to put our middle sentence there in our supporting details. We have, she is the best mom ever. And we have, she helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. Which one you will put in the middle? Yes, she helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. And now we have just one sentence remaining, which will go as our concluding sentence. She is the best mom ever. So we unscrambled this paragraph. Let's see what it looks like. I love my mommy for all the things she does for us. Firstly, I love the way she cooks, the way she cleans the house and bakes the cakes. She helps us with our schoolwork when we do not understand. Lastly, she gives us medication when we feel sick. She is the best mom ever. And this well-written paragraph was written by Anna Charles, who is a Standard 2 pupil of Malabar RC School. So she learned the hamburger method and she wrote a paragraph on it, which was excellent. So now you have homework for me. I like to give homework. Yes, you all at home, I am here, but you can still do homework. So you are going to choose one and you're going to write a paragraph on it using the hamburger method, using your main idea, your supporting detail number 1, your supporting detail number 2, your supporting detail number 3, and your concluding sentence. So we have, write a paragraph on which animal you think makes the best pet. I will read it over. You can write it. Write a paragraph on which animal you think makes the best pets. Number 2, write a paragraph on your best friend. Write a paragraph on your best friend. And number 3, write a paragraph on your favorite fast food. I know most of you will want to write on that. So you write a paragraph on your favorite fast food. So you're not writing all 3. You are choosing one out of the 3 and you are writing one paragraph on it. So let's go over. Write a paragraph on which animal you think makes the best pets. Write a paragraph on your best friend. And the last one you can choose from is write a paragraph on your favorite fast food. So let's review what we did today. The topic sentence presents the main idea of the paragraph. It tells the reader what this paragraph is going to be about. Yes, it does. Number 2, we should have at least 3 supporting details. It is important you know you are not limited to 3. So if you have more to write, you can write it. If you have more information to give, you can give it. Don't limit yourself to only 3 supporting details. And we use transitional words to link our ideas. Remember to use your transitional words. So you can continue learning at learn.moe.gov.tt, where we cater to ECC primary and secondary, where we help students to connect and continue learning. See you in our next lesson.